I might have to play that. A little bit of a technical difficulty moment. Yeah. It's okay. It's like behind the scenes. Letting them have a peek into what we're talking about before the show. We're back. We're in. We're in like Flynn. What's going on, you beautiful people? Welcome to Robetalk, everybody. Episode 27. I thought we'd never see the day because, frankly, I've just been too lazy to do the podcast, but we're here, y'all. Okay? A lot of stuff's been going on. We're going to talk about it. It's an open conversation. This is, if you're prejudiced, if you're racist, homophobic, transphobic, whatever, it's your time to leave. Hit the door. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, my guy. If you're optimistic and you want to see a kid in a robe with curly short hair, talk about his feelings, stick around. You're in the right place. But look, guys, I just wanted to check in on everybody. I hope that you're doing well in these tough times. We were already dealing with a pandemic, but then we got hit with another virus. And it's called racism. It's been around for 400 plus years. It's disgusting. I can't believe that it's actually stood the test of time. But look, it's an elephant in the room, and it's been in the room for a while. And the deal is I feel like for myself, I don't like to get super political or anything crazy or any of that. I really leave that for the experts, but being an occupant of the world at these times, I think that if you're not speaking your truth and not speaking what you believe in, you're kind of just like an innocent bystander that you're in the way of change getting done. So I think that the deal is like, look, for me, I stand on the side of Black Lives Matter, obviously. It makes the most sense for me just because I've lived my life and exemplified actions of, respecting, treating everybody equal, and just enjoying, honestly, making a concerted effort to always include those of different cultures, of different ethnicities, of different religions, having those people in the room because I value their perspective on things. And I think that, for me, I can't say that I have no experience of, understanding what racism feels like towards me. I am totally out of that. I don't claim to have any sort of affiliation with feeling those feelings. I can't claim that. And I totally understand that, but I've seen how it's affected others. I've seen how it affects close friends of mine and how it affects people that I work with, and it's disgusting. And for me, I also believe that it's been something that I'm quick to, for years and years and years, I'm quick to not necessarily call out on, but notice it. And I feel like when I see it and I feel it and I notice that it's going on with somebody that I care for, or not even that, if I just see it in the news or anything, it's something that bothers me and I think it needs to be said. And unfortunately, it took, the death of George Floyd to talk about this right now. I feel like I've been talking about it for years. I feel like many people have been, but if this is what it takes to get to the boiling point of actual change, then that's what it is. And again, it's like Black Lives Matter, but you know what? It's like I saw somebody post, and I'm not taking credit for this quote whatsoever, but it's like Black Lives Matter is great, but like Black Lives Mattering should be the minimum. There should be Black Lives are, they're valued. We care about Black lives. We appreciate Black lives. And the other thing is like it should only go up from here, you know? And so for me, you know, I know that the other thing that really is prevalent in today's culture is black culture. I feel like we pull so much. Everything is attributed to some form of black culture. Music, art, cinema, whatever. There's a lot of correlation to, you know, many powerful creatives that are of color and of different descent, of different, you know, ethnicities and things like that. And so to undermine the workings of them previously and now is honestly just offensive in that regard, because look, all of my Mount Rushmore of people that I've looked up to forever as with music, creativity, they're all black. And that's just how it is, and I appreciate them, and that's who I care for. And I've had friends growing up who are black and of different colors, Hispanic, Latino, whatever it is. That's just the way I was raised, and that's the way that my parents, you know, taught me how to approach people and really promote equality with everybody. And so I just hope that all of this, if anything, is a moment for just realization and progress and where we are. And the thing is like, look, I always take it back to, you know, I tell my mom I love her every day. I think that it's important, something that I believe in. That's something that I love my mom. And so I say that every day. And the deal is like when Mother's Day comes around and people are like, well, why haven't you posted Happy Mother's Day, whatever. I will post Happy Mother's Day, but to me, the sentiment and the things that the cameras don't see of me being a nice person and doing something that I believe in, that's really, really, really valuable. And so for me, for all this time in my life, I've appreciated black people. I've done nothing but respected black people, and it's just embedded in me. So for, you know, it to be a moment, obviously I'm going to support, because it's been something that I've supported for so long just in my daily life. But I think that the real change happens when we all start to really implement this into our lives and the way that we live, really, every day. And so that's how real change happens, and I'm happy to see that there is change happening. And look, man, I love seeing the protests. It makes me happy when I see people peacefully protesting and all that. I don't know that the looting and all that is what's good, but I also don't know that can be directly attributed to the same groups that are peacefully protesting. I mean, it's like there's differences there, and I think that the problem is that, you know, you try and make blanket statements with, oh, well, there's looting and this or that going on. Look, there are people with good intentions out there that are trying to make a change and use their voice for good, and that's what really needs to be the focus, okay? There's people that are always going to be creating a ruckus, creating something and taking advantage of the moment, and I saw Cuomo say that, and I love Cuomo, and I'm a Cuomo-sexual, and that's just how it is. But look, I saw Cuomo say something very smart, and it kind of resonated with me, as many things that resonate with me from him. He said, you know, criminals are smart, and the way that they approached that situation was they saw a moment, they saw an opening for looting, they saw a moment for all of that, and they went and they did that. And that's just how it is. And there's always going to be those people in the room. And so unfortunately, that's a part of it. But I don't attribute that to the Black Lives Matter group, and I don't believe that that's part of their message either. So that's all that I wanted to say. And I know that, you know, I've donated. If you want to donate, that's up to you. I'm not going to force that upon you, because I don't want you to donate for the sake of, oh, well, Angelo donated or Kim Kardashian donated. I want you to donate because you want to donate, and I think that that's another important thing. Now, look, I am an influencer. I want to use my voice for good. It's the whole thing with the Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility, and I wanted to use my voice. I felt like I wanted to do it on the appropriate platform, and this was it for me. I feel most comfortable in long-form conversation environments such as this. When it comes to 30 seconds, 60 seconds, a Instagram post, a Twitter feed, you've seen my Twitter, you see how I feel, and that's just it. This felt like the most comfortable response for me. And the other thing is like, I didn't want to delay it or anything. I've made it very prevalent of how I feel about it, obviously, because it's important and it's how I feel. But at the same time, I was listening, and I wanted to listen to the conversation that was being had, because these conversations are probably the most valuable things that are going to come out of this, aside from the law changes and, you know, things like that. But look, man, to everybody that I've worked with, to everybody that I will work with, to everybody that I see and that I'm friends with in my daily life, that is black or of a different color or different descent, I salute you. I've saluted you for years. I love you. We appreciate you, and we will continue to implement you into my life. And that's just how it is. And I appreciate everybody who understands that message. I don't want to get, like I'm all of a sudden a political figure or anything like that. Then again, I do believe that politics are a part of music, and I believe that politics are a part of art, and I'm a part of art, and I'm a part of music, and I'm also a part of Black Lives Matter, and that's just how it is. So that's all I have to say. That's really it. And it's not out of it's just out of love, really. It's really out of love. And I love these people. And I've called up people and said, hey, checking in on you. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Those types of things matter. I really do believe that. And though it's a tough time, and I feel like we're all confused as for what's going on, the best thing that will happen and that will push us forward is those check-ins, is those making sure, is those moments of, hey, just coming to check in on you because it's a very rough time. We all have our struggles every day, even aside from the pandemic and aside from this whole thing going on with George Floyd's death and all of that. It's like we all already had a whole palette of issues going on. Now we have a palette of issues going on that now overlap what we're going through and what we're trying to deal with. And it's a lot. It's hard to stay on your toes. It's hard to stay up. And so I just wanted to come out and talk about this, say how it is, say how I feel about it, and kind of just say unapologetically, like, if you're not about equality with people, if you're not about, this movement, I don't reside on your side. I don't understand your standpoint on things. So not to be combative in any way. I wish you well, but at the end of the day, this is how I feel, and I care about Black lives. I care about the thing is like when you say the all lives thing, it's like that's not what the focus is right now. The focus is Black Lives Matter, and you can't care about all lives until we care about Black lives. And that's it. So that's my piece on it. I thank you guys so much for listening to that. And that's the show. So thank you. No, I'm just playing. But thank you guys so much. But yeah, I think that needed to be said, and I'm happy that I was able to say it. And yeah, guys. So look, back to what's been going on though, because look, bro, it's wild. It's very, very wild in many regards. I lost my cat recently. He was a very big part of my life. And I know it's like it's funny because it's a cat, and I always would laugh, and not laugh. I would get it like when people would be like, my cat died, and it's like a really tough time. It's like, okay, like I appreciate that, but it's a cat at the end. And it's like, look, I never quite understood that. I had a dog die that I loved as well growing up, but like, I don't know. And so my cat died this week on Monday. We had to put him down, and it was sad. I mean, I was crying, and it was like to a point of, honestly, it was like uncontrollable. Like it just kind of happened. Like I would just be crying. And look, man, I miss him a lot. I loved my cat. He had a great personality. He was somebody that we obsessed over. We were so madly in love with this cat for so many years, and so we're all kind of going through it a little bit just because the house feels a little bit more empty now. Listen, we still have our dog, Layla. She's still kicking around. She's never going to die. She has a superpower where she lives forever, so she will be around longer than me. I appreciate you, Layla, but, I miss Smoke. I'm going to pull up a picture of Smoke right now. Click that over real quick. Hold up. Here he is. This is our king. We miss you and we respect you. This is our king, man. I respect Smoke. I will always miss Smoke. He was an incredible cat. I don't know that you could get another cat like this because he's that type of cat where it's like he'll just roll up to you and sit right next to you and just that's it, bro. And he's not going to like bite you. He's not going to be weird and go under the couch and be all skittish and all that. He's like really in your face. He'll rub up against you. He's that dude. He speaks his mind. He really does the most without talking, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised in the 14 years that he lived, he didn't just let a word sneak out real quick. Because he was that type of cat, He was that type of cat that might hit you with the, no, You might be talking, and then he just hits you with the, no. And that's just how it is. So, look, man, I miss Smoke. It's been tough without him, but we're going to continue. My dad's looking at cat links. He's trying to buy a new one. And that's just it, man. And, it's like my mom's against it, but it's probably going to happen. Like it's bound to, It's just one of those things, man, because, it's just she's going to fold one of these days and just be like, you know what, go pick it up, And so I'm fine with it. We're looking at big cats, okay? We're looking at some Joe Exotic stuff,
Joe
okay?
Exotic, otherwise known as a tiger cat.
I want a big cat. Fat boy, big, just striped out, freaking rocking. Fat, too, like overweight. Like I want an overweight cat. And look, man, I love cats, and they get a bad rap. I was just talking about this with somebody. I think it was Izzy. Because people hate on cats, man, and it's ridiculous. Because these cats, I think the problem is they are so smart that if they sense any hesitation in the owner being like, I don't really mess with cats, they will notice that and they'll hold that against you for however long they live, and they'll be all skittish and you'll never see them. So I really think that, but if you go in there with open arms with the cat, it's going to recognize that, and that's what this cat did. Smoke came from the streets, too. You got to remember that. That dude was a rescue. We took him from rags to riches. He was amazing, okay? He was thriving. He saw us peak, and he saw us decline as well, okay? So he saw us when we were at our best, and he saw us when we were at our worst, but it's all good, man. You know what? I don't even blame him for leaving right now because this stuff's just so crazy, bro. He couldn't even take it. 2020 took Smoke like it was just like, whew. It was like that. He left a little trail of smoke when they pulled him out, It was like, whew. That's just it. So look, man, I don't blame Smoke for leaving because shoot, it's crazy right now. So shout out to Smoke. Rest in peace. He was a king. He will always be our king. And yeah, man. And the thing that's kind of sucky about it is that it happened on Monday and we just had got back from Nashville. So just get slapped in the face with some post-Nashville depression, which is fine. We're dealing with it. Now, Nashville was great. Thanks for asking. It was incredible. And look, it's just weird because that really opened my eyes in the sense that when I go, it was the first taste I got of traveling mid-corona, post-corona, whatever you want to talk about it. I didn't take a flight. We drove, which was safer. But the deal is, guys, you go to Nashville, Tennessee, dude, you might just catch corona. And that's not even a lie. And I'm not even joking. Like, you might catch corona. And I'm definitely more cautious right now because I'm coming back just out of the respect for the world. I'm right here. I'm in the house for 2 weeks, and I'm self-quarantining just to make sure I'm good, okay? But the deal is, guys, look, you go to Nashville, they're giving hugs out, okay? You go to Nashville, they might just take your mask and be like, what's this? What's this guy, huh? And throw it on the ground and then just, like, mash it down with their foot like it's some gum. Yo, you go to Nashville? You're eating in a restaurant. Straight up. And so, I don't know how to feel about it. It was like the first taste I got of like, what the heck? There's people there that legit don't believe in the coronavirus. And I don't even know, man. I mean, like, that's crazy to me. They're probably, dude, there's people out there saying, I don't need to wear a mask. God's got me. And that's like, oh, it's a little sketch. Now, granted, I didn't work in like the studio that I usually work in, just out of respect. See, I do things with this corona thing, whether stuff comes out now from the CDC where they're backpedaling, whatever. I'm coming out and I'm just being careful, okay? So another measure I took, I said, all right, let's have a small group of people work, not a huge group. We're going to do it at my friend's house, who I've worked with before, at his house. It's totally safe, clean, everything's good. and we're not going to work at the studio. So we did that, and it was totally fine. But you go to any town in Nashville, dude, I guarantee you, people are legit out here rocking no masks. It's like they got no shirt on. And I don't know how to feel about it. It's bold, but it's scary. So, look, man, Nashville is dangerous a little bit. I love the city, respect it. Probably going to move there in a year, but the deal is y'all need to start wearing masks, because if y'all are all sick when I roll in there in a year, I'm not going. But yeah, and then in Nashville, we went into there. I don't get to do a lot when I go to Nashville as far as like fun stuff, and it's not a poor me. It's like legit my choice. I go there and I work. So the deal is that my family, they usually take advantage of that time to indulge in great food and shopping, because, you know, there's stuff to do there and there's nothing to do here. So I'm just playing. But, well, it's actually kind of true, because coronavirus legit has shut down everything going on here. So they actually can go places there. So the deal is like they kind of, when we're here, they shoehorned us to being in our house, which is fine, and I respect it. But when you go to Nashville, like right now, they legit got to do things for like the first time in a couple months. So they went to the mall, got a reservation at different places, got some barbecue and all that. So the last day we were there, when we were leaving, it was like, oh, we have the opportunity, we have a little bit of time, checkout's not for a while, let's go do something that you want to do. And I was like, oh, cool. So I wanted to go to an Army surplus store in Nashville, and it's I'd always wanted to go to one, but I had seen this one specifically as we were driving past it, because it's kind of near the area where I work at. And dude, the only thing I wish was that I went sooner, because it's so incredible and satisfying there. Now, I don't know if you enjoy the same things that I do. I mean, look, I'm not like a big Army G.I. Joe type of guy. That's not my character. But look, bro, there's some stuff in there that, to me, makes your life so much easier. Now, I like these little stores where it's like little bags, little organizers for cords, things like that. I love Staples. Staples is addictive. I go there and I find stuff that makes my life easier. And then I go to the Army surplus store, and I kid you not, there's bags in there for stuff that I don't even have that I needed to buy, okay? Like, dude, there's a bag for everything in there. And then they got these patches. They got the accessories where they clip on. Little, like, dude, you go out of there, you're dropping into Warzone. And that's just how it is. You roll through an Army surplus store, you're getting ready to play Call of Duty. And it's amazing. Now, like, the other thing that's kind of cool about it is, like, look, I really actually like a lot of, like, I know it's kind of funny because, like, you know, I'm a soft guy. You know, I roll in there rocking shorter shorts. They're probably looking at me like, dude, what are you doing? And I like to go in there and look at some of the clothes because, you know, I basically am a soft dude trying to find camo. And that's just how it is, man. And so I went in there. There's some dope boots. I already have some boots and all that. I got sweatpants and, like, cool stuff. But if you don't go in there and in your mind, like, Danger Zone is playing in your brain right now, when you're in there, I don't know what you're thinking. You know, I gotta pull it up. If you're not rolling in there and you're looking through the clothes and you legit just start hearing this in your mind, then I don't know what you're doing. If you're not rolling in there and you're like, oh, look at the shorts. Look at the shorts we got going on over here. You know, like, if you're not, like, going in there and you're like, oh, shoot, they got bags? What's up with these bags? If that's not what you're thinking, you're crazy and you're not in the right headspace. Because, look, I went in there and immediately felt like Tom Cruise. Okay? Immediately. And so, look, man, shout out to the Army surplus store. And look, the biggest thing that they made me happy about, not even gonna lie, you gotta wear a mask when you're in there. So shout out to them. That was unexpected. They didn't need to do that. but they kind of did. So shout out to them. But yeah, man, I rolled in there. I bought a ton of stuff for very cheap. It's also an exercise of like, you start to realize how much you pay for unnecessary things, and it's almost like a massage on the brain, because I roll in there and you see a bag that you can legit, I kid you not, you could legit, it's the size of this table right now. You see a bag that size of the table, and you're thinking, okay, so this is like $47, right? And the thing is $23. Okay? And then you start to realize, like, man, like, I really buy a lot of stuff for the brand. And I really buy a lot of stuff for what I think is quality. But you know what quality is? Quality is in the middle of freaking wherever a war zone is, rolling through on some guy's back, sweating it out, fighting for our freedom, and that thing is just not a rip, not a tear in sight. That thing is still kicking. Okay, that's quality right there. That's quality. It's not rolling into a mall and being like, I'll take the monogram bag. That's not quality. Quality keeps us safe at night. So look, man, that's what I'm talking about. Go to an Army surplus store and support America. And look, man, I love the Army surplus store. It really surprised me. And you know me, man, I'm optimistic. So if you open my eyes to something, bro, I'm all in. So that was definitely a big score. My mom bought some bags as well. We probably look so ridiculous in there. We look like people from LA. We look like we're on keto, and we were juicing, and we roll in there and we're like, this is the cutest bag ever. And he's like, that bag actually won the war. That bag actually secured you your freedom today. So I don't know. And we're like, the print is amazing. And they're like, that's actually dirt. Yeah. So it's like, you know, and the other thing is like, look, you can go in there and there is a section of like actually used war stuff, which is actually really, really cool. And I think that's awesome. Did I buy any of that stuff? No, because, you know, I have a little bit of corona and yeah. But look, man, I love the Army surplus store. Same thing I feel like with vintage stores and all that. My sister has way more patience than I do with it, though, because she'll roll into a Goodwill and all that. And like, look, no disrespect whatsoever to Goodwill or anything, but look, again, I'm soft, and I don't want to, like, Izzy's down to do the dirty work and be like, yo, I'm going to look through this pile of 50 t-shirts, and I'm going to find this one. Me, on the other hand, I'd rather pay the premium and just have it be like, here's 5 bangers, and you got to pay a little bit more for it. That's more my style, okay? And so, look, we went to another thrift store for Izzy, and it didn't hit. It didn't hit. And I think that she was a little bit disappointed because we made such a big deal once we walked out of the Army surplus store. We were like, this is amazing. Oh my gosh. We were on like a buyer's high right after we left that thing. We were walking to the car. We're just like, dude, I found these bags. We had these freaking shirts, all this stuff. It was incredible. And then we go into it wasn't it. So, but yeah, man, Nashville was good. Had to tighten some things up for the next single, which is coming out pretty soon. It's my mom's favorite song that I think it's my mom's favorite song that I've written. It's also kind of about her. It's kind of dedicated to her. But don't like judge me for it, because the deal is, it's like, if I say babe in the song, I'm not like saying that to my mom, you know? So don't like judge, you know? Like, I don't call my mom babe, okay? Like, that doesn't happen. But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm trying to keep it going. I'm trying to keep up with everything going on. It's crazy right now, man. I feel like everybody's just confused on what we're supposed to do, especially now with the smoke loss. I've been just aimless. But you know what? I'm working. I'm keeping things busy. We're moving along, and I'm trying to keep the hopes up, people. Yeah, and there's cool stuff going on. I really do believe that. Like the SpaceX thing, where Elon Musk launched the first spaceship that wasn't NASA, right? That's it? Okay. Yeah, like it's just like a cool achievement. Bob and Doug rolled up in that piece. Can't even blame them because, dude, leave the Earth. Okay? So they left the Earth and they were up there chilling. Are they back yet?
Oh, they're there.
They're still there? Dang. Bob and Doug, man. So inspirational. But look, the thing is like the main takeaway from that whole thing for me, because we were watching it, is like, dude, it's honestly insane. And I know it's like, it's said a lot, but it's honestly insane that Elon Musk is like a real person. Because the deal is, for me, it's like this guy has gone above and beyond what you really need to do as a human. Because this dude just keeps on, and like, he really is Iron Man. And it's the craziest thing because like that parallel is just so nuts. And the other thing that's nuts about him is that like when you see him talk in interviews, like I'm not going to lie, like he's kind of semi hard to follow just because I really believe he's otherworldly. Like he is that type of character where he's mad scientist, mad genius, to the point where everything else besides what he does great is just like the conversation skills, he's socially awkward in a sense. And it's because his brain, to me, my main takeaway is it's because his bandwidth is going towards other things that have been working. And so when you see that for so many years as a person and you see, oh, well, this works. This over here is this is what I need to focus on. The other stuff doesn't start to go. I know that actually from experience because, look, I'm trash at talking to girls, dude. Garbage. But can I write a mean hook about a girl that doesn't exist? Hell yeah. Okay. So that's just how it is. And so shout out to Elon. It's just nuts to me because like he is somebody to me, like he's on that Steve Jobs level of genius. Like that's something that I really do look up to. And also like the multifaceted thing, like where he's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to make a rocket. And then he just goes and makes a rocket. Like it's just cool to me that he says things and then goes and does them. And that's really the most inspirational thing, I guess, from anybody. It's no different than like Kanye saying, oh, well, I'm going to go make shoes and they're going to be the biggest shoes ever. And then he went and did it. It's just like those things, those achievements in like the modern age of how they do those and how it's fast, honestly. They get it done fast. And so it's just cool, man. Those are the types of things really keep me going along as far as when I look up to people. So it's like Steve Jobs, Elon, Kanye. Those types of people are like straight up. Those are the big dogs out there. But yeah, guys, look, SpaceX is dope. I'm still not going to the moon, and you know that. Okay? I couldn't go to the moon. It's weird to me. Like I love it. I think it's so dope, but to be honest, like what's hard for me to wrap my head around, and it's like space is already crazy. It's hard for me to wrap my head around because there's a million different weird facts where it's like, well, if you drive fast away from the Earth, you can actually see yourself. And it's like those types of things, like as much as I want those to resonate with me and as much as I try to understand them, I never will. And that's just how it is. You have people going to school to understand those things because they're interested, and I am too, but like legit, I don't have the patience to try and comprehend those types of things. And so when it comes to space, dude, and honestly, it's also mind-boggling to me that you can go out into space and then come back down and like be fine. Like you can legit live the rest of your life. No, like, I mean, I know that there's like studies that there are issues maybe with bone function, things like that, degrading over time, whatever. I don't want to get too into it, but the deal is like, it's hard for me to comprehend going to space, getting back down safely, and then living the rest of your life. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. So again, I don't know that I could go to space, but I really wish that I could experience like 0 G's just because I think it's so sick. It's like, that's like video game to me. That's like legit. That's the closest thing to flying to me. It's so cool to me. So when I see those people just bopping around the International Space Station with the Velcro and all that, dude, it looks so dope. Although like, dude, to be honest, the International Space Station, that was the other takeaway I took from it. Dude, that needs a remodel. okay? And I don't mean to sound ignorant in any way, but dude, update it. They need Kanye and Elon to make a collab on that and just go hard on the IS. What is it? The ISS? Yo, the ISS is trash, to be honest, okay? The ISS looks like garbage. They got cords flying around everywhere. Dude, organize your freaking cords already. Cord organizers are not hard to find, my guy. You're telling me you can't get Amazon Prime out there and get some freaking cord organizers like that? You can build a rocket that's not by NASA. Privately owned, correct? Privately owned. And you can't buy a couple cord organizers, dude? Couple cord sleeves do you wonders in the ISS. And you just don't. That's the thing. When was the ISS like officially up? Like going? 19 something? I don't know, but it looks it because, dude, update it. Gosh. It doesn't take rocket science. Dude, go to IKEA, bro. It's not hard. My room should not look better than the ISS, okay? My room can look like a disaster at times. Still not as bad as the ISS. I could have cups sitting out. My mom's going to get mad if I had, like, certain things that I need to throw out. Dude, if my mom went to the ISS, that's 24/7 looking that ratchet. The ISS is trash, dude. That would be the main thing. If I went up into space, I'd be like, guys, we got to talk. We got to talk about this because, to be honest, this is not good. How are you guys living here? And then you wonder, like, dude, why are your guys' mental health so messed up in space? Dude, there's cords everywhere. Bro, it ain't hard to recognize, man. The writing's on the wall. Rather, the cords are on the wall. Gosh, it ain't hard, bro. Oh my God, I did it. I actually spilled on my shirt and my robe. It's okay. Whatever. There's bigger problems out there, including freaking cords on the space station. Dude, get your life together. Gosh. But look, man.
Have you had one?
Wait, hold on. Dude, it just legit just rolls into conversation. Legit mid-show. She just goes, wait, have you, like, and I'm like over here doing the show. What's up? I know, I was actually, so look, it was just funny because Mom just legit just starts a straight up conversation with me. We need to get you a mic. No, but look, yeah.
Okay, cough.
Oh, Dad's coughing in the background. But look, yeah, I haven't talked to you guys on here since I got a haircut. And look, man, I feel better. I feel like I lost 20 pounds. I feel like, you know, people have been asking me what program I'm on. I just said, dude, I got a haircut. Okay, so I got a haircut, and I actually believe it should go shorter, and I think I'm going to do that soon here. We just scheduled another haircut and a photo shoot and all that. But look, man, I'm definitely going to be getting a haircut again. I don't think that I can do the long hair thing again. It's too much to deal with. And it's just a lot of maintenance. And again, it's kind of like the Elon Musk thing. It's like, dude, I don't want to put a lot of bandwidth into the time of my hair. You know, it's like those minutes stack up every day. And so I don't want to spend a lot of time on my hair. Because when I look back at the stat sheet of my life, it's going to be like 50 hours spent. They're like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all going to stack up. And so, look, man, I don't want my stat sheet for my hair to be hella long while I'm there. So, yeah, man. And you know what? I actually like it. I'm happy. I feel like I'm more put together now. I feel like a new man. And so I got it done. And yeah, and so that was good. And I'm happy that it was finished. But look, man, it's been cool to see a lot of organizations come out and like make their statements and all that, especially organizations that I support. You know, saw PlayStation make a statement, saw, you know, everybody. I mean, I saw the PGA come out, saw everybody, and then I saw NASCAR make a statement. And look, I don't even follow NASCAR, but dude, I'm thinking about following NASCAR now, bro. To be honest, yo, that was dope. And we were sitting there on the couch, like, and watching ESPN, and me and Dad were legit looking at each other like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so Nashville, NASCAR, Nashville too. But NASCAR, dude, y'all popped off with that because I was so hyped when I saw it. And all the drivers came together and made a video and all that. It was just dope, especially with just NASCAR being NASCAR. It's like, dude, no disrespect, but you know what's going on with NASCAR. And so for me to see that statement, to see all of that, it was just dope. And yeah, man, that was definitely one that I was like, wow, this is great. That was one that hit for me. Like one of the biggest ones that have hit for me as far as big organizations coming out and speaking against what's going on right now. And so the other thing is, like, right now, look, I'm watching a lot of CNN, and I get it. You know, at times it's a little intense, and I would say that at times maybe it's a little exaggerated. Granted, that's pretty much all the news, whatever side you're on. But I understand. They may, you know, make it a little bit bigger, all of that. But it's hard not to fall in love with the cast of guys and girls they got rolling in there, okay? Because, look, first of all, we got it all scheduled out because we rock it every day. First of all, what time is Anderson Cooper on? Route 6? All right, so first of all, dude, this is freaking CNN Coachella, and this is how they roll with it. You roll in at 7, you get a nice fire opening set from Anderson Cooper, okay? The freaking White Fox. Dude rolls up on the screen, and he's legit. He's all business. He might hit you with, like, a little laugh that's, like, somewhat, you know, like, he's like, that's how he laughs. He's kind of like, that's the Anderson Cooper laugh right there, dude. So you might get a little bit of that. He's going to hit you with some sass. He's going to drop some clips on you, dude. He might drop a little Trump clip on you, you know. He might drop something, some tweets. He'll put some tweets up there on the screen. Dude, he goes hard. Anderson Koopskis, he's nice. Okay, he sets the tone. And then it's a Cuomo moment. It's a Cuomo, baby. You got Cuomo coming in strong, okay? And he comes in there with Americans, and he's got "Let's Get After It." Basically, the equivalent of Cuomo saying "Let's get after it" is just in his brain he's hearing. Okay? That's like the moment he says, "Let's get after it." That's what's going on, okay? So, shout out to Cuomo, man. And shout out to his brother because, dude, man, I mean, it's Cuomo-sexual, bro. And when the brothers are on the split screen and they're throwing jabs, it's priceless, dude. Priceless. When they're talking about who's the favorite, priceless. That bit will never get old. They're going to run that bit into the ground. They'll be talking about who's the favorite when I have kids watching CNN, okay? And so, yeah, man, let's get after it. I wish I had a phrase as strong as that to start my show off. If I was just coming in real strong, you know, like, this is Angelo, welcome to Robetalk, let's get after it. You know, like, if I had that, I need one of those because that's actually, like, really dope. And so, you know, shout out to Cuomo. He really went hard. And the dude beat Koronskis while he was doing the show. Dude, that's a warrior if I've ever seen one, okay? Like, dude broadcasted from the basement, dude. He was locked in the basement. That's like Kanye doing 4 beats a day for 3 summers, okay? It's the same difference, bro. He did prime time on his time in the basement, okay? Dude was living in prime time. So shout out to Cuomo. But then, my most recent friggin' obsession, love affair, Don Lemon, baby girl. Don Lemon has grown on me immensely in the last 3 months, okay? And I love it when Don Lemon gets sassy, when he gets mad, when he has a purpose, when he feels something. You can just feel it, and you can see it, and you can hear it. And particularly, there's one tone that he hits, and it's like his trademark tone now. I know he knows too. He only pulls this little tone out like, he only pulls this tone out maybe once, maybe you'll get it twice a night, because look, and he's really popping off when he pulls it off like multiple times. And the real obsession started after he did this one clip, and it went viral. And I'm going to play it because I'm obsessed with it. I pull it up all the time. And you know what? I'm going to have to put it on my board right here, because this right here is legitimately one of my favorite sound bites of the last 10 years. It's so amazing. So Don Lemon, and I know it's Don Lemon, but dude, I'm saying Don Lemon. Okay? Don Lemon. All right, here it is. This is like, here's the deal. If I was sitting there while he was doing this broadcast, I would be legit like punching the air. Like, I would be like, ah! He's popping off. All right, so here it is. I even remember where it is in the thing. So essentially what he's talking about, I mean, you're going to hear it. It's about Obama and it's about Trump. Now, regardless of what you feel about where you're at politically, but dude, like, you got to admit, there's some flair here that we can't let go under the rug. The thing's already got 1.596 million views. Are you on the screen? Can you see it? All right, I'm going to put this up. Guys, I didn't get to see this live. Unfortunately, I didn't have the privilege of seeing it live, but I believe, did one of you see it live? Dad saw it live, and I actually this is what got me into watching Don Lemon shows now. Because to be honest, I actually think he's changed his format of the show since the corona outbreak and all that, because now he actually, to me, does a lot more of a modern style, like podcasty type of show on TV. It's a clip show with political things. He gives his opinion on it. It's not always all facts, which, take it or leave it. I don't really know how you feel about it, but he's entertaining to watch, so I think that that's really what backs it up. So look, this is what converted me to a Don Lemon stan right here.
The first American of
Wait for it. I'm going ahead.
By the way,
there it is. All right. First of all, dude starts off, and by the way, so you know he's coming in with something. But just listen to the tone real quick. I'm going to play it, and then we're going to go through it. But just listen to the tone.
That's compassion.
Here it comes. Here it is.
Too bad that President Trump can't show either.
Oh.
By the way.
Here it is.
What is it about President Obama that really gets under your skin? Is it because he's smarter than you? Better educated? Made it on his own? Didn't need daddy's help? Wife is more accomplished? Better looking? I don't know. What is it? What is it about him? That he's a black man that's accomplished, became president? That he punked you on the whole birth certificate thing? What is it about him? Just wondering.
Dude, like, slows down just for an accurate shot. You know, he just goes down and he's like, pulls out the sniper and just. What is it? Is it because he's smarter than you? He hits you with that ASMR type of vibe, you know? He rolls in there real. And by the way, what is it that bothers you about him so bad? Like, it's so nice. And oh my gosh. I heard that clip. I think they re-aired that clip a couple times, like, even on their own programs. Like, I remember people, like, for other shows, being like, this is what Don Lemon had to say about it last night. And usually they're going to, this is what Fox News had to say about it, or this is what da-da-da had to say about it, or the governor of da-da-da. No, they kept it in-house, and they actually told you what Don Lemon said hours ago. Again. So look, we have quoted this many times by saying just, is it because he's smarter than you, better looking, made it on his own, without daddy's help? Like,
Okay.
that hits. So yeah, man, that's what converted me to being a Don Lemon fan. I watch the show all the time. Really, I just watch that heavy hitter lineup, dude. It's just bangers. CNN's got the talent. You flip over to MSNBC, it's like Walmart version, dude. I don't want that. I want that CNN, bro. I want the Fox. They come in with that silver Fox. Anderson Cooper, who's been around for 75 years. And the dude is amazing. And then you roll over to prime time, and you're getting after it. I mean, you're an American, and you're getting after it. And then you roll over, and it's freaking, you know what flavor it is? It's lemon. That's what it is, okay? That's what the flavor that you're rocking with. The guys, CNN said, hey, what flavor do you want? And you go, and they go, lemon. You're like, I'll take strawberry, blueberry, maybe lemon. And they give you lemon, and it's like, now I'm a lemon head, like that's just how it is. And shout out to Don Lemon. I'm a big fan of the program. I've been watching a lot more, and yeah, and it's honestly, it's just like, dude. So that's been our life. We've been watching Don Lemon a lot more in our house, and is it because he's smarter than you? Is it because he's better educated?
And he punked you on the whole birth certificate thing.
It's just that. But like, dude, if you watch now, going forward, and after you heard this, if you go forward and you watch this show, you'll realize this dude knows he struck a tone with that. He struck a note with that tone, and he only pulls it out at certain points. He legitimately will only hit you with a, is it because he's better educated? He only hits you like once or twice a night, and he just, no, I respect it. I wish honestly, main takeaways from CNN, I need gray hair, and I need to get a nice catchphrase like, let's get after it, and I need to find a tone that really resonates where I can just pull it out and just be like, is it because he's smarter than you? So, yeah, man. Shout out to Don Lemon because that was just fire. I respect it. Oh, man, that was great. The other thing that I've seen kind of going around with people. Now, this has always been a thing with, like, different musicians and all that, and movie people and whatever. Whenever anybody comes out and says how they feel about politics, for some reason, it strikes people by surprise. And it's always funny to me because it's like, to me, in entertainment, politics are embedded in it just by nature. Just because it's like, it's a public thing. Everybody has a vote. And so why don't the rich and famous get a vote too? And they don't get a voice either. And so when people come out on Twitter and they voice their opinion on things, and then other people respond and say, oh, well, all of a sudden, big dude that I loved listening to music, he's a political figure now, And so the other night, we were sitting on Twitter, and we noticed something amazing had happened, and it was this instance. Now, this has been happening for years. I remember reading tweets about whoever, insert Brad Pitt, whoever, and they come out and they make a statement on equality, or they make a statement on police brutality, or whatever, and people get their panties in a bunch because it's like, dude, he has a voice too. Let him speak out. This is kind of his job. And so, essentially, Rage Against the Machine, one of my favorite bands ever, but their whole MO, even down to the name. And again, this doesn't take rocket science to connect this. You can connect. I connected this when I was 8 years old. you listen to their music, you listen to their message, they're obviously talking about something embedded in protesting what's going on that's wrong, standing up against major corporations that are trying to sink the little guy, those types of things, you know, the system, all these things. And it's just aggression, and it's great, honestly. I mean, even if you don't support where they align, you can somehow apply it to your life in whatever way, because that's what music is for. It's for you to take the message and apply it to your life. But essentially, their message is to, you know, get angry at what the modern era is and what's wrong with it. That's their MO. It's Rage Against the Machine, okay? If you can't read between the lines there, you shouldn't be listening to their music. And I'm sure that any of the members in Rage Against the Machine will tell you that. So essentially, the other night, this guy tweets out, and I can see if I find it, but Rage Against the Machine tweet Tom Morello. Yeah. So the guitarist, Michigan. All right, here it is. Michigan man goes viral after telling Rage Against the Machine's Tom Morello to stay out of politics. Granted, Tom Morello is a very smart guy. He's very educated. He's better educated than you. So, like, he's like, it's ridiculous. He has like a degree in political sciences at Harvard. Yeah. So the dude, if anything, kind of trusts the dude even if he wasn't in the band, to be honest. But a Twitter user comes out, Scott Castaneda, or however you say it. And this guy, first of all, the dude looks like a meme. All right. So he comes out and he says, T. Morello, I used to be a fan until your political opinions come out. Music is my sanctuary. And the last thing I want to hear is political BS when I'm listening to music. As far as I'm concerned, you and Pink are completely done. Keep running your mouth and ruining your fan base. Thumbs up emoji. First of all, bold statement, Scott. Respect, but also not. So the deal is that also, the only people that should say music is my sanctuary are the people creating the music. Just saying. I have a problem with that. Dude, music, that's like my sanctuary, man. Yeah, you kind of just sit there and listen to it. I appreciate it, but like, bro, is it your sanctuary, though? Listening to music may be your sanctuary. Scott. Okay, but then he goes, okay, the thing is this was posted in 2020, right? Like, June 9th, 2020, this week, okay? And it took this dude this long to realize what was going on with the music. Like, I know that some artists are cryptic with their lyrics and all that, and they like to keep it mysterious and allow for the listener to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. But, dude, I hate to break it to you, but Rage Against the Machine has made it fairly clear for years and years and years of what their message is. And to be honest, we think that this is like a joke, because the phrase that to me like showcases itself as a meme is, as far as I'm concerned, you and Pink are completely like, once he hit that, I'm like, this has got to be a meme. Because to be honest, if you're putting, and no disrespect to Pink, but if you're like, 1 second you're talking about Rage Against the Machine, one of the hardest, like, I mean, just incredibly well put together and just well versed in orchestrating a message in the same conversation with Pink, and there you're as mad as one as the other. It's just hilarious to me. So shout out to Scott Castaneda, because the dude got roasted all online, and people were very funny as always. And if anything from this instance, like, it just shows how funny people can be with when, like, this was a layup for this guy. Like, I just can't believe that this guy really thought like he was doing something with this tweet, though. Like, he wrote this and was like, here we go. It's gotta be fake. But, oh my God. Aside from demonstrating eclectic musical taste, Rage and Pink That's where my mind goes. It's just amazing. Pretty sure that the guy that was supposedly upset against Rage the Machine being political is a bot. Nothing about his profile seems real, or maybe I'm just triggered because his profile basically pins him as being from my hometown. Dude, it's so funny to me, to be honest. Like, I just couldn't believe that. It's an amazing tweet. But yeah, man. Dude, I'm all cool. I'm here for the music until you start speaking your mind, man. Now I gotta go listen to another artist that probably speaks their mind, and then I have to wait 20 years to figure out that they actually were speaking their mind. Dude, I mean, like, look, it's just funny. It's funny, and it's music, and it shows to me, like, look, everybody can listen to music, and I believe that, but it's like, it really shows that, like, not everybody gets it. Like, this dude missed the point with this situation. So, yeah, man. Oh, it's so great. But I think, there's been other tweets in the past where people kind of criticize, for some reason, Tom Morello on being political about things, but then he kind of claps back and is like, hey, don't mean to be, rude about this, but if you consider people having a major in political science from Harvard to have a political opinion, if you think that's the credentials, I'm here to tell you, I have the credentials. So, yeah, man, I appreciate that. But, dude, I've been enjoying TikTok. If you haven't already, follow me on there. It's at Real Alex Angelo. I've kind of figured it out in a way. I don't know it, but I'm just saying I figured out what essentially the appeal is there. I'm not fighting it as much. I'm just kind of doing it and experimenting with it, trying different things, and I think that it's actually a net. Originally I thought that it was a negative platform, like the net result of it was negative. That's kind of that was my outlook on it. But now I've come around to it and really realized that though there's a lot of cringy stuff and there's a lot of stuff you need to sift through as far as like people that are on there that maybe don't deserve to necessarily have all the hype in the world be on there. It's like I actually think that it's a net positive force, and I actually enjoy it. And though it's gonna rot your brain, as you do with anything, though. I mean, that's always like an argument that I never quite understand, is when people are like, well, if you spend enough hours on it, I mean, you're gonna just fry your brain cells. Well, if I spend enough hours looking at a white wall, I'm gonna be frying my brain cells. So while I get it, the addictive nature of it and the kind of time-sucking action of it, yes, there's things that go into it that definitely continue you to go in, like, deeper. Like, dude, anything. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, any of them. They can do the same thing. And so it's just about having control over it. And I know that I do, because I pretty much just go on there and post and then look around for other ideas and steal them and then post again. That's how you do it. That's the TikTok way. And yeah, man. So I've also been playing a lot more video games, and I don't know really how to feel about that, because that's kind of a time-sucking event. But I've been playing a lot more PS4, and honestly, I'm ready for all these new games to drop, and I don't want to get into them, but there's just a lot of new games coming out, and I really want to cop that PS5. I'm on Team PlayStation. I've always been. Never went to Team Xbox, so don't get it twisted. But yeah, guys. But this has been fun. I'm happy to connect with you guys. I think that we've really, I mean, shoot, we've been here for a little second here, and I like it. That's the way I like it. So yeah, guys. I mean, look, closing. I appreciate all of you. Just be kind to one another. I think that what is going on, obviously I feel like there's been, like, honestly a wave of a lot of posts going around where it's like, we like to trash 2020 a lot, and it's kind of become the meme of, like, the year, honestly, is like, oh, well, 2020, man, it just sucks. But I've also seen kind of a wave that I semi-agree with, where it's like, nah, unfortunately, as painful as it is, we may need 2020. Like, it actually may take 2020 to implement the changes and implement the reform in a lot of avenues, really, in our daily lives, in our ways we approach people, in the ways we talk to people. Like, it may have taken 2020 to rip the Band-Aid off on a lot of things that are going wrong and that have been going wrong for years and years and years. And so while it sucks right now, and while it's like you don't know how to attribute and piece together, like you haven't seen the full movie yet. You know, that's essentially what I'm saying. And I feel like, you know, when you're in the moment and you're in the thick of it right now, it's like, it's really terrible, and it is. But I'm telling you that I think that as we progress and as we get better and improve as a human race, we will now see the benefits of these conversations that we're having, the dialogue that's out there, the allies that step up and protest, those types of things, those painful things. You know, I hate to be cliche, I hate to, but it's gotta rain before a rainbow. And that's just how it is, and it's as simple as that. And so for me, it's kind of the way that I'm taking it, but that's no way to justify terrible actions being done. You know, it's not, I don't think that, you know, on the other side of that, you know, you can look at it in that light and be positive about it, but I also think that it's important to not undermine the things that are going wrong and the things that have been going wrong. So it's like, by no way am I justifying, oh, well, it's got to rain before a rainbow, so this stuff just needs to happen. By no means am I saying that, because it doesn't. But I think that, honestly, we're figuring out ways so that it doesn't happen again. And I think that that's big. And so I know that I've been having a lot of conversations, even in Nashville, with my people there, because it's different there. I mean, take it down to not everybody's wearing masks. I mean, it's a different climate. And as you move around the USA, you'll notice that. And I've been fortunate to travel the USA and see the differences and understand that, but not even to the extent that these people do. Because it's like, dude, I have no grasp on what racism feels like directed towards me whatsoever. Like, no grasp. I don't. And I can't say that I will. I can't say that I understand it. But the way that we move forward is by listening and by talking about it. Because the more clear approach we have on it is the better way of maybe, just maybe, understanding and giving people just the benefit of your time and your ears and your conversation with them. So if anything, that's what I feel like this moment serves. It's very tough, even for myself, just because it's just like, dude, it's sad. Like, it's tough. Like, waking up these days is not the easiest. And I know that has to do with other things as well, but you know, I respect everybody out there who's protesting and doing it in a way where it's peaceful and honestly, it's like, dude, that's just how it is. There's good people out there in the world, and I think that that's also been showcased. I don't think that should be undermined either. This thing has shown that there are good people out there, and I love that, and it makes me happy. And you know, I do believe that there are good cops and good and bad cops out there too. It's like, dude, there's good people and bad people out there too, and there happen to be cops that are good because they're people, and there happen to be cops that are bad because they're people, and that's just how it is. And so when I see videos of cops walking out with the protest, cops talking about, you know, you guys have your freedom of speech, we're allowing you to do what you want to do, we stand with you. When I see even cops I saw a cop that was standing, or no, rather, I saw a Army officer, I don't know how to say that, serviceman, whatever the respectful way, politically correct way of saying it. I saw him standing, and you could see his lips moving to the chant of what the protesters were saying. And he was a black individual, and I could see his lips moving, and he was sitting there, and it was a powerful image. And I think that we're starting to see a lot of those, and especially through the spread of Twitter, Instagram, whatever. We're using the modern tools of our time to spread those images, whereas those images would then be spread through textbooks or whatever. Like before, it would be, oh my God, this was a powerful image because this was Tank Man, and you could see the guy standing in front of the tank, and that's like a really iconic image. I feel like we're getting those every day, to be honest, and we would not have those without the likes of social media or those platforms. And so it's really incredible, and it's honestly, now the news may obscure the vision a little bit, obviously, but that's almost like, it's a given. It's been that way for years. But it's through the power. The power is really with the people with online. We create our own news, and it's really incredible. And so seeing the different protests, seeing the different things. And so it's obviously a somber situation, but I feel like people are really standing up and taking a stand. And I really think that the death of George Floyd, may he rest in peace, really could be the turning point in American and human history, to be honest. And so, again, it's making the pain that has been going on for 400 plus years somehow reach a new wave of change. And I think that's important. And I feel like myself, anybody else in the world, should have the right, as we are Americans, to speak their piece on it. And so that's why I chose this platform to do it. Like I said before, long form conversation feels way more approachable to me than a tweet or than a whatever. When you're confined to a tight space of, hey, you got this many characters or this many whatevers, it could be questioned for inauthenticity. It could be questioned for, promotion of trying to tag along to the balloon that's already rising of Black Lives Matter. I don't want it to be like that. This should be the proving point of where I stand, how I feel about it, and that's it. So, with that being said, bless all of you. Stay safe out there. Be kind to everybody. And look, I love you guys so much. Stay safe, and wear a mask. Why not? It looks cool. I think it looks dope. So rock a mask. Peace, everybody.